All right, let's go ahead and take you right on, taking you through some of the dailies here this morning. And we're going to start with Vanguard newspaper. Naira notes scarcity.
It's still a thing. Yeah.
I thought it was over and done with.
It's not.
But it says, crunch worsens. Banks ration cash across the counter. You know what this does? When you see headlines like this, and then you're in your house, you got cash, you're supposed to pay an artisan on, just pay somebody something. There's this unconscious thing that happens. You just wait a minute. Can I withhold some of this? Do I really want to do this?
Yeah.
You know, but look, I could be wrong, but I don't quite buy that explanation that it is POS folks that are doing this or doing that. Look, I don't subscribe to that as the main reason why this is the case. No, I don't think so. But because what's the volume of transaction that happens on that platform that will make this scarce? Some person somewhere know what they're doing to frustrate certain things. But anyways, it's part of what we'll try and see. Even though, yes, you see customers frustrated as some banks shut ATMs. POS operators jack up charges, say they are sourcing cash outside banks. Why do we do this to ourselves? You know, so why did they shut ATMs in the first instance? Are they telling us they've not gotten? How much do the banks get? CBN might need to start publishing those details. They might tell you, look, it's going to put them in jeopardy, but we have to do something.
Yeah, but how much do you used to get, you know, versus how much you're currently getting? So it's not just enough to publish what it is that they're currently being given. It's also to publish it in relation to what they were given when there was no cash scarcity.
Yeah, that's part of what I try to say about publishing all of those things, because how do we know that some persons may not have been taking some knee-jerk response? Because remember, before the judgments came through, that's when all of this thing started. Some persons might have thought, okay, are they going to withdraw this? What did they do with this? Let's hold on to this one. So all sorts of theories out there, but I guess we'll see. That's Vanguard this morning.
Well, look at the Abuja Inquirer for you, and they have this: how insecurity, banditry fuels overcrowding in FCT schools. Schools resort to call members, PTA teachers to bridge gap. Abuja votes 13.1 billion naira for toilets, furniture for school. Of the schools. Let me pluralize that because that's what it is. I sincerely hope that we see the furniture and that we see the toilets for these students, because really this might look like small things, but they are very, very important. It's even a shame that we're still talking about providing toilets and you know, furniture for our schools, because these are the things that ought to be taken for granted. But sadly, even in the Federal Capital Territory, they're not things that can be taken for granted. But that's the late story on the front page of the Abuja Inquirer. You can also see the front page comment there. Better Gate, beyond rhetoric, fire Edu. That's what you find right there on the front page. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs coming under a lot of fire in recent times. Well, that's their front page comment. They're not the only ones saying it. I think Femi Falana is also saying that as well. But I think the federal government has set up a, what do you call it now? A committee to investigate. You'll be seeing that on some of the other papers. Let's leave it there for the Abuja Inquirer.
Well, you guys are looking for a bit of good news. Well, there is one on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct today. CBN clears additional $61.64 million Forex backlog to foreign airlines. That's the lead story of the Nigerian News Direct this morning, and it's the details of it you'll find on page 9 of the paper. So how's that for good news? This is another one. FG approved 12 billion naira to clear outstanding payment for Super Eagles and others. The details of that you'll find on the inside pages of the paper this morning, and several other stories you'll find.
All right, let's take a look at Daily Trust then. Tinubu's 57.8 billion naira rice palliative raises dust. Constituents accuse legislators of hoarding. How we lobbied presidency for it. reps, Senate, silent on largesse. So, what is going on? I think I remember last time when the president they said they were going to reach the constituencies through their representatives in the National Assembly. So, what's going on with that?
Yeah, some people have seen that from what I gather, or from what we see, it does appear that some members of the House of Reps have received that delivery. They've taken delivery of their bags of rice, but some other members are yet to see it.
Uh-oh.
Yes, so, yeah, and there are some members who have actually put out disclaimers saying, look, yes, some of the people, especially in the states that have elections coming up, they've since sent their bags of rice, but we are yet to see anything here. So if you're expecting us to deliver something to, because other people are asking questions, these things are online. Representatives who have received it are busy making videos of it and saying, don't worry, constituents. But the videos are not, located in just their constituency. So people in other constituencies will see these videos and say, hey, honorable member, where is our own rice? And then the honorable member will say, well, yes, indeed, rice was promised, but I am yet to receive it. So it is a very, very, I guess, it's a topsy-turvy situation for members of the House of Reps.
I think it will be interesting if they go ahead, again, publish, using our word. Let's know who did get what. Look, because if they're denying, at the end of the day, when they resume from their research, that's the end of it. Chances are that will be the end of it. But here, on the front page, Daily Trust gives reported Tinubu's palliatives since assumption of office. So you can see all of that here. So they list the rice, distribution to governors for sharing in the states. That's another one. Free train service during Yuletide season. 100 million naira worth of palliatives to each House of Representatives member. 200 million naira worth of palliatives to each senator. 25,000 naira conditional cash transfer to vulnerable Nigerians. 0 customs duty and VAT on CNG conversion kits import. What's going on with that, by the way? Has anybody seen any CNG bus in operation in FCT? Any part of the country, for instance?
In Ogun State, yes. In Ogun State, remember that they had a big launch. It's interesting to know how that is currently operating, but I know that in some states, not some now. I'm trying to find a word apart from, because some signifies at least a significant number. I think maybe in 1 or 2 states we have heard that the governors there have bought CNG buses. I do not know what's happening in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. It'll be very interesting to get the latest update from the Minister of the FCT.
Yeah.
Will that be all for Daily Trust? Well, New Telegraph has this, yes, focusing on what is happening in Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Better Edu, Tinubu orders probe of controversial 585 million naira transfer request. Apologize, quit, Falana tells Minister. Her continued stay in office provocative, says PDP. Pages 2 and 4 is where you'll find details, but there needs to be clarity on that, because she says it was approved. Approved by who is the question. You find big details on pages 2 and 4, but it'll be interesting if this probe now has a timeline. Shouldn't there be a time when we expect that, okay, whatever the result of the probe is, we'll get to know in a week, 2 weeks? When will we get to see what is it that she continues in her office, and she's exonerated, or you say, okay, you didn't quite get the process right? Isn't he the one that said that, look, if you don't do it well, or if you're not accountable, or you're not meeting your targets, you'll be made accountable and you'll be asked to leave? I think the president said that. I don't think he'll shy away from firing anybody if he's unhappy with their performance so far. But look at the bottom here. Adeboye, there's money in Nigeria, only in wrong hands. That's what you find at the bottom here. Yeah, there's money here, only in wrong hands. Jet fuel, new prices may spike cost. Airlines, others cry out. So I hope that somebody is listening there. 2024 budget, financial institutions to make 30.14 billion naira from government agencies. That's right there. Now, this is one place where an online portal might be necessary, but look at it. Police recruitment, fiscal credential screening of 416,270 applicants begins nationwide. How was this process done? Was it online? It'll be interesting to know. Let's leave it there for New Telegraph.
And flip to The Guardian newspaper this morning. What do you have on its front page? The Guardian newspaper says, FG in fiscal dilemma over high inflation, low revenue, FX crisis. Stories on page 6, because you have some infographics on the front page. Inflation rate 28.2%, gosh. And budget 28.7 trillion naira. The details of that you'll find on the inside pages, page 6 to be precise. And a number of very interesting stories right on the front page. Supreme Court affirms states have no regulatory powers on inland waterways. Stories on page 5. What does that mean? Especially now that some states are using inland waterways, transportation on inland waterways, taking advantage. Lagos, for instance, we saw it at the tail end of the morning brief this morning. A number of other stories you'll find interesting on the front page of The Guardian, including this one, 3.4 billion naira debt, or your AG false Makinde's paucity of funds claim. What does that mean? The story is on page 3. That's The Guardian newspaper this morning.
We'll have a look at Business Day next. Nigeria's debt to hit 95 trillion naira, up 8-fold in 10 years, the paper reports this morning. FG borrows 2.9 trillion naira from CBN under Tinubu. Block tax loopholes to boost revenue, Rewane advises. And so you know that if that happens, and then all of those loopholes are cross-board, you'll definitely have that revenue stream coming to, hopefully, the appropriate quarters if that happens. So many still looking to see the Taiwo Idilis Committee, what is being done. We need to talk to people about that. I tell you, you need to, as quick as possible. Well, that will be Business Day today.
The picture there is very instructive. Leadership Newspapers has this one now. 2027 politics begins. Opposition hints at merger to form mega party. Well, I hope it remains at that level, because, we've just done politics in 2023, and I think
I don't understand this.
We should settle down to government.
Yeah.
Politicians, if they're doing whatever maneuvering they're doing, they should keep it on the down low, please. Let us get our economy
going. And I don't understand
why,
daily should be making our daily stories. When economy, people need to focus on getting life first and foremost. Then you come up with this.
Or maybe they're just trying to tell us how quickly the politicians soon, was.
But we know that that's what they do.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what they're trying to do. But look at it. Obi Atiku Kwankwanso focused on building formidable structure. Weekend's G5 reactivated, seeks support for Tinubu presidency. Loyalists pay allegiance to Rivers ex-governor. That's right there as well. And then if you look at this, EFCC took no documents, files from our office. That's according to Dangote. 5 died, 30 rescued. Anambra boat mishap. Let's hope that we'll get more safety on our waterways. And then look at this. CBN settles $2 billion Forex forwards with banks. That is right there as well. We'll leave it there for Leadership Newspapers.
All right, so there you go. That wraps it up. We'll look at some of the dailies here this morning. Don't forget, you can also talk to us about whatever you think you got up to here. I'd like to hear from you. Well, back in a moment. Stay on with us.